What is good, everybody, man? This is your guy, Manny, and this is the Talking Sports with Manny YouTube channel. Today, we're going to talk starts and sits for week 6. I'm going to go ahead and run my intro. We're going to get this thing on. I love my intro, but I think it's time for a new intro. What do y'all think? If you have any suggestions, drop that in the comment section. So we're going to talk week 6 fantasy football. Tonight, we have a weird game. The Washington Commanders versus the Chicago Bears. It's going to be a snooze fest, but for those of us that are Commanders fans and Bears fans, we're going to be watching the 1-4 Commanders versus the 2-3 2-3 Bears. Two bad teams. Somebody got to win. It can either end up being the Commanders going down to 1-5, and then now you got Sam Howell coming in. That's my prediction. I think that Sam Howell, if this continues to go south, Sam Howell will be the starting quarterback for the Commanders come week 8 or week 9. That's my prediction. But if the Commanders somehow win this game, and then let's say they win another one versus Indy, I mean, they have some winnable games on the schedule. But so for tonight, I'm starting Terry. I think that Terry has a chance to get some big yards. This could be a breakout game for Terry McLaurin. Let me see. Talmud Sports says, watch it be a good game. Yeah, it could be a good game. I'm hoping it's a good game because this is all I have for my entertainment for tonight. But if it turns into a terrible game to where the Commanders are losing, I'm going to go to Hulu. I'm going to find me some show on Hulu and watch that. But, I think it's going to be a good game. I like Terry this game. I like Curtis Samuel. And I like Carson Wentz. Running back wise, I don't know how well Brian Robinson is going to do, but I do have Brian Robinson starting in multiple leagues this week because of the bye weeks. So that's that. Now, when we go to the Chicago Bears side, I like David Montgomery, and that's about it. Darnell Mooney has a chance to do something against this weak secondary, but if Darnell Mooney does nothing this week versus this secondary, then you just know that you can just bench Darnell Mooney the rest of the way. Justin Fields, I'm not starting Justin Fields unless I'm in a super, super deep league. Everybody has gotten off against the Commanders, but I am starting the Commanders DST this week. I think they have a chance to really do well versus the likes of guys like Justin Fields. Like, he's going to get sacked a ton tonight. We go to the San Francisco and ATL game. San Fran is hot right now. That defense is, like, amazing. So I'm starting that defense versus ATL. And also for the San Francisco 49ers, I am starting guys like Jimmy G. I think that Jimmy G has a chance to have a pretty good game versus the lowly ATL Falcons. Also, Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson is pretty nice. And Jeff Wilson has been playing well pretty much all year. So I do like Jeff Wilson. Jimmy Garoppolo got to step up, man. It's time. Jimmy Garoppolo has been so bad. I think he possibly has a good game versus ATL. If not versus ATL, then when can Kittle actually have a good game? Ring chasing, man, what's good? Ring chasing writes, start Keenan Allen or Curtis Samuel in the flex. Keenan Allen, we don't know if he's going to be able to come back, and you got to make a decision tonight because Curtis Samuel plays tonight. I would most likely lean Curtis Samuel over Keenan Allen just for the fact that he's still limited at practice, and we don't know if Keenan Allen actually suits up on Sunday. So even if he does suit up, can he be Keenan Allen? He hasn't been Keenan Allen, but for the first game, and he didn't even produce. So I will go Curtis Samuel because Curtis Samuel is safe. Curtis Samuel is the wide receiver 17 right now. So I will go Curtis Samuel over Keenan Allen. So, I don't know about George Kittle, like I was saying. For the ATL Falcons, Kyle Pitts continues to struggle. So I will not go Kyle Pitts. But the tight ends are Kelsey and Andrews, and everybody else is just random, right? So do with that what you feel. I am starting the San Francisco 49ers DST. I think they're going to have a pretty good game. New England and the Cleveland Browns. I like New England's defense this week versus Cleveland. But at the same time, Nick Chubb is a beast. Kareem Hunt is, he's there. Ramondre Stevenson gets a chance to be the lead back for New England, and that can bode well. That can literally bode well for the Patriots. Ring Chasing writes, I benched Russ for Geno. It was time. Don't you think so? Absolutely. Like right now in Dynasty, to be honest with you, I saw a deal that went down. Somebody traded Russell Wilson for Geno and a piece. And I was telling somebody, if I have Russell Wilson right now in Dynasty, I'm trading Russell Wilson away for Geno Smith and a second-round pick. That's just how much I'm done. I'm done with Russell. And I'm in a league where I have Derek Carr. He's on bye. Now I got to find me another quarterback. I'm going to find another quarterback because I'm not starting Russell Wilson. I do not trust Russell Wilson moving forward. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm multitasking. All right. Now, moving forward, what other games do we have? So back to the Cleveland Browns and the Patriots game. Njoku could be a decent start. Obviously, you start Chubb. Brissett, I'm not starting. I'm starting New England's DST. If Bailey Zappi plays once more, then I'm gonna start the Cleveland Browns defense. Even though that Zappi did move the ball, they did kick a lot of field goals. Nick Folk is in play. Nick Folk will be a very good kicker this week if Bailey Zappi starts. If Mac Jones is back, then they're gonna possibly throw for more touchdowns or have more touchdowns than have field goals. Also, I like Jacoby Myers a lot in this New England and Browns matchup. Green Bay and the Jets. Aaron Rodgers has been pretty bad. What do y'all think? I have not liked Aaron Rodgers a lot. Ring Chasing writes, does Jonathan Taylor get back on track this weekend? As on track, do you mean that he comes back healthy or that he's healthy? I hope that he's healthy, but he hasn't been on track all season. So I think Jonathan Taylor has like one game. Let me see who the Colts are playing. I believe it's the Jags. Yeah, they're playing the Jags. So he has a chance. He has a matchup versus the lowly Jags. And we know one thing about the Jags is that they can't tackle. The Jags can't tackle. So if you do start Jonathan Taylor, feel good about starting him if he's fully healthy. If he's not fully healthy, then, hey, even a 50% or 70% Jonathan Taylor definitely has a chance to produce for you. So, yeah, I would start Jonathan Taylor, but I don't know about if he's back on track because of that, the injury history so far this season and the inconsistency of that offensive line. That offense is pretty bad. But Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers has not been playing well. I want to say start Romeo Doubs, but Romeo Doubs is going against a pretty nice, talented rookie defensive corner for the Jets. So I don't know. But Romeo Doubs is a guy that Aaron Rodgers trusts. Between him and Lazard, one of those two guys goes off. I also think that this could be a breakout game for Robert Tonyan. So if Robert Tonyan is out there in your leagues, scoop him up, hold him. You can possibly even start him and then see what happens. For the Jets, Breece Hall. Elijah Moore or Garrett Wilson. That's the question, right? I say neither. I don't think neither one of those guys gets off this week. You only start those guys if you have to. Elijah Moore has been terrible this season. And then Zach Wilson, he's still, getting back to normalcy. So I'm not starting him as well. For the Jags and Indianapolis Colts game, there's multiple guys that you can start on both sides. I think that Michael Pittman Jr. plays a great game this week. So Pittman Jr. and Alec Pierce have a chance to both produce this week. Matt Ryan is a good play this week. And also, Matt Ryan has a stretch of teams that he played. I think Matt Ryan plays the Jags. He plays the Titans, then he plays the Commanders. Get Matt Ryan right now and stash him on your bench. I think that Matt Ryan is going to have a good 3-week stretch. Now, after that, I don't know what Matt Ryan is going to give you, but I do like Matt Ryan moving forward as a streamer. Also for the Jags, Trevor Lawrence has been decent. Christian Kirk, hopefully he comes back because, he's been bad the last couple weeks. James Robinson, ETN, that's the battle. Who do you go? I think ETN is winning that backfield right now. And James Robinson, he's touchdown dependent. So if he's not scoring touchdowns, or if they're not playing with the lead or with some kind of sense of urgency, then James Robinson is fading away currently right now. So also the Minnesota and Miami game. This game could be very weird. We know that Tua Tagovailoa is out. Teddy Bridgewater is out. So we have Skylar Thompson playing, making his first NFL start, 7th round rookie. That means start the Minnesota Vikings defense if Skylar does start. Minnesota is hot right now. They are 4-1. Start Kirk Cousins, start Justin Jefferson. You can even start Osborne in deeper leagues. Feel confident about those guys. Irv Smith might give you something this week. You know, like any tight end that's not Waller or Kelsey, just start them if you have them, because like you can't pinpoint who to play. Guessing a tight end is like guessing a defense. Like it's so hard to guess, especially this season. So yeah, start all your Minnesota guys. I think that Dalvin Cook has another great game. I see Dalvin Cook scoring at least twice this game. And then for the Miami Dolphins, if you have Tyreek Hill, pray. If you have Jalen Waddle, pray. I've actually removed Jalen Waddle from my lineups just because I don't know what Skylar's going to give you. Now, he does get to go into practice this week and practice as the starter this week, but that does not mean that it's going to translate to wins or losses. But then who knows? Maybe Miami's defense steps up. You know, things are so random to where Miami can somehow pull this game out and then end up with a 4-2 record, and then Minnesota ends up with a 4-2 record. But I do expect Minnesota to just run away with this thing. So it's one of those guessing games. We go to the Cincinnati and Saints game. For the Bengals, Joe Burrow, he has not been as consistent as we would like him to be, but he's starting to turn things around just a little bit. And what a better matchup to go against than the New Orleans Saints. Last week, the Saints surrendered a lot of yards to Geno Smith and the Seahawks, but Seahawks were not able to get that win last week. So Cincinnati has a chance to put up some points this week. With T. Higgins battling injuries, Jamar Chase needs to wake up. Jamar Chase needs to produce. We have not seen Jamar Chase do anything this season. So this could be the Jamar Chase game. Hayden Hurst has been awesome. So when you're looking for tight ends, Hayden Hurst is a guy that you can go ahead and plug in and expect some production. In terms of Alvin Kamara is back. He had over 200 yards plus from scrimmage last week. I was looking forward to trading him in Dynasty, but after that game, the price just went up. So now I'm deciding to keep my Alvin Kamara. I think Kamara has another good game. But let me tell you guys this. If Jameis Winston is out this week and they're going to start Andy Dalton, then you want to go ahead and start Taysom Hill in your tight end position confidently. I said that before, and I'm going to say it again. If Jameis Winston is out, you start Taysom Hill, because when they get into the red zone, that's where Taysom Hill comes in to get that touchdown. They just love that. Kamara doesn't get those touchdowns, and Dalton barely gets those touchdowns. They like Taysom Hill. Even if Jameis Winston does play, Taysom Hill is touchdown dependent, but hey, that 12 to 15 points that he can get you would be worth it when you're, instead of starting guys that don't produce at the tight end position, or you're dealing with injuries or bye week. So there's a lot going on in this game. Even if Jameis Winston plays, I don't see Jameis Winston as a top 15 quarterback this week. I see Jameis Winston as a possibly anywhere between 17 to 24 ranked quarterback this week. Giants and the Baltimore Ravens. Shout out to the Giants, man. The Giants have done something that I didn't think that they can do. They are 4-1 right now. They're playing pretty good defense. Should you be worried if you have Lamar Jackson? Absolutely not. Lamar Jackson is going to tear it up. I put up a post today where Lamar Jackson is on pace for 3,600 yards passing. He's on pace for 41 touchdowns. He's on pace for 17 interceptions. He's on pace for, I think, 1,300 yards rushing and 7 rushing touchdowns. So Lamar Jackson is he's on path to get all these numbers and then some. You know, Lamar's going to have those monster games, and he's going to have these modest games. Right now, Lamar has been kind of coasting. He's been chilling. Rashad Bateman has been out. He's not practicing right now. So Bateman or no Bateman, expect Mark Andrews to be great. Devin Duvernay is a name that you should be trading for, picking up. I think he gets an expanded role as the season goes on. J.K. Dobbins is in line for another big game, and it could be this one here. I do see Baltimore running away with this game, although that the Giants are pesky. And but it's been Saquon Barkley's show. Daniel Jones has no wide receivers right now with injuries to Kadarius Toney, Wan'Dale Robinson, Kenny Galladay. It's just musical chairs when it comes to wide receivers for the Giants. Am I saying start the Baltimore Ravens DST? No, that's not what I'm saying. Baltimore's defense is still terrible that Daniel Jones is able to possibly make some plays. Now, if the Giants end up winning this game and they end up going 5-1, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get back on live and I'm going to do something crazy because the Giants are not supposed to be having the success that they're having right now. What's good, Mark? Mark is in the building. Mark says, I am a 0-5 team, and his team is Jimmy G, Hollywood Brown, Courtland Sutton, MPJ, ETN, Sanders, Waller, Godwin, Dobbins, Connor, Duvernay, Cooks, Pollard. What do you do? Who do you trade and for who? Man, this is tough because you have a lot of guys that are producing, but then you have guys that, guys like Waller who hasn't really done anything, right? I would say trade Waller. I've said trade Waller and Kittle, and if you can trade Waller or Kittle for something, you do it right away. When it comes to tight ends, play whoever. Outside of the top two, I'm going to keep saying it. It's going to be like whatever. It's like Russian roulette. You don't know what's going to happen. Now, Hollywood Brown is nice. Sutton is nice. So you can build off of those two. But all these other guys like MPJ, ETN, Sanders, you can remove any of those guys. Hollywood and Sutton are guys that you keep. If you can get a better quarterback than Jimmy, maybe you package Jimmy and Duvernay for a better quarterback, or you can mix and match. Connor's out right now, so maybe you can trade Connor to a contending team and take a lesser running back or a lesser wide receiver, somebody that you can grab and plug into your flex. Dobbins, the same thing. Like, you got to keep the guys that are producing, and any guy that's not producing, you can package them right now in a trade and get rid of them because you're 0-5. You literally have to play week to week. So at the end of getting rid of people, like, your team is going to look crazy. Uptown Dre writes, my starters are dogs, but quarterback is, you said wow. So Russ off waivers, drop Jimmy G, Lance on IR, pick up Justin Fields for tonight against my Redskins. I don't know if Justin Fields gets off tonight, but I did say that he better get off tonight because if he doesn't, he's never going to get a better matchup than the Commanders. So I like your chances. He has a chance to get 20 fantasy points between him running and him throwing a deep pass to guys like what's that guy? Mooney. So it could work for you. I mean, at this point, you just have to stream quarterbacks. Russell Wilson has been so bad. And Jimmy G, I actually do like Jimmy G this week. Jimmy G might outproduce Justin Fields. We'll see. Morph says, what do you think about trading Sutton, Jeff Wilson, Eli Mitchell, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, Madison, and Conklin in a 12-man PPR? Says your tight end is Waller. Yeah, so if you can get rid of Waller, you get rid of Waller. But, Sutton can definitely net you something right now. Sutton is actually wide receiver 12 right now. Jeff Wilson is running back between 17 and 19. I think it's running back 19 right now. Eli Mitchell, you package Jeff Wilson and Eli Mitchell, you can possibly get something nice. But, yeah, Sutton and Eli Mitchell and Jeff Wilson, four Amon-Ra St. Brown, Madison, and Conklin. Conklin ain't it. I get that you want a tight end. Conklin is not it. He had 0 points last week. But anytime you're trading for a Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm with it. But to be honest, I'd rather have Sutton and Jeff Wilson than have Amon-Ra and the rest of these guys that are not going to give me anything. Madison gives you nothing until Dalvin Cook gets hurt. Conklin gets you nothing on some weeks. So I would say keep Sutton and keep Jeff Wilson. Uptown Dre says, Waller is underwhelming so far. I think he's hurt. Whether he's hurt, whether he's not, it's time to get rid of Waller. I'm telling you guys, I got rid of Waller in a very big deal that I did, and it was a dynasty trade. I traded two 23 first-round picks. I traded Waller. I traded Jared Goff and Deshaun Watson. I was able to get Josh Allen and Travis Kelce. Why did I add Waller into that deal? Because it was going to help me to get a guy like Travis Kelce. I want guys that are producing on my team. Even if I have to overpay to get rid of some bad guys, that's what happens in the NFL and in the NBA. Haven't you guys always noticed how you have to attach assets to get rid of people? So, for example, the Russell Westbrook for the Lakers, he's so bad that they have to attach 2 unprotected first-round picks to the Pacers to get rid of Russell Wilson. So sometimes you have to attach an asset to Darren Waller in order to get rid of him to get something that can help you win games. I'm telling you guys, it's crunch time. You cannot keep holding on to names. Get rid of names like Waller and get rid of names like Kittle. Get what you can before these guys end up dying on your roster. All right. RS German, what's good, man? Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please like it up. Says, I traded Hollywood and Pollard for CD and Najee. How are we feeling? Woo, that's tough. I like Hollywood a lot. I like Pollard. I like CD Lamb. I don't like Najee. And I'm hoping this was a redraft league. Even if it's a dynasty league, you still get that value, that name value out of Najee. We just don't know what's going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I'm going to give Najee one more week, and this is this week. If Najee does nothing this week, I can't trust him anymore. But I think your trade is fair. Hollywood is a beast. CeeDee Lamb is going to be a beast, especially with Dak Prescott returning this week. So, but I still like Hollywood, but then I get it. Watson is coming back. What's his name? DeAndre Hopkins is coming back. So I get it. It's a fair trade. But to be honest, I'm anti Najee Harris for right now. Uptown Dre writes, Manny, that's all I need from Justin is 20 points. Now, I'm greedy, maybe 30. Hey, I'm hoping that he gets you what you need, but I see a lot of sacks in his future today. I think that they're actually going to get to the quarterback a lot today. I'm predicting 5 sacks for the Commanders. Do with that what you feel. Go Commanders. Adam Weber, what's good, man? Appreciate you hopping on the stream, man. Please like it up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Adam writes, I'm very tempted to start Danny Dimes over T-Law this week. What do you think? Full PPR. I'm not mad at that. Look, there's a league where I'm debating if I should start Danny Dimes or Russell Wilson. Anybody but Russell Wilson. And to be honest, Danny Dimes and T-Law are about even this week. Danny Dimes plays against the Ravens. We talked about it early on in the show, and the Ravens have a terrible pass defense, a terrible defense in general. So I'm not mad at starting Danny Dimes this week. He might produce for you. He might get you a rushing touchdown or 2. He gets more value running the ball than Trevor Lawrence gets passing the ball. Every time he runs for 10 yards, you get 1 point. Every time Trevor throws for 25, you get 1 point. So, oh man, what's good? It's a dig bar says I traded Jonathan Taylor and Renfro for Debo and Kenneth Walker. Jonathan Taylor and Renfro for Debo and Kenneth Walker. I like it. Then I traded Dameon Pierce for Hurts. Is that a W? Woo. The Jonathan Taylor and Renfro for Debo and Kenneth Walker, that's a W. The Pierce for Hurts, I don't know. It just all depends on how you look at it. I get it. Hurts is a running quarterback, and running quarterbacks do have more value. But I guess with having Kenneth Walker, I'm pretty sure you have other running backs on your squad. So I don't know how I feel about Pierce for Hurts. I think it's better to have Pierce and then maybe you stream your quarterbacks, but I get it. Sometimes you want to solidify your quarterback, and Hurts is a top 3, top 5 quarterback this year, so I can't be mad at that. But I do like the first part of your trade. The second part of your trade, I'm like 50-50 on. Adam says, but I got to drop the opposite. Gotcha. It's tough. It's tough because Trevor Lawrence might have more value the rest of the season, but then you want to stream that one good quarterback this week. It happened to me when I dropped Jared Goff and I started Wentz. Wentz didn't play well. Goff went for like 4 or 5 touchdowns. So it happens. Just go with your gut. Always go with your gut and try to get wins. If you're losing, desperate times causes for desperate measures. You got to do what you got to do. It says, Adam, flip a coin, homie. That's exactly how I would do it. But I like Lawrence. He should bounce back. Danny fumbles, plays a solid defense. I feel you. Mark writes, would you do Jimmy G and Duvernay for Burrow? Okay. If I have Burrow, I'm not trading Burrow for Jimmy G and Duvernay. If I have Jimmy G and Duvernay, I'm definitely trading Jimmy G and Duvernay for Burrow. Easily. Nick writes, Russell Wilson or Jimmy G? Give me Jimmy G. DJ Moore, T. Higgins, or Michael Thomas. It says, please put me out of my misery. You know what? You go DJ Moore, and then you go whoever that's the healthiest between T. Higgins and Michael Thomas. That's who you go. DJ Moore, hopefully PJ Walker throws the ball to DJ Moore. Even though he's playing against a tough defense in the Rams, I think that DJ Moore has a chance to be better with anybody but Baker Mayfield. In terms of Michael Thomas and T. Higgins, they both are banged up. Go with whichever one that's actually healthy. It's a Big Bar writes, also, should I risk starting Mooney tonight or DJ Moore? Oh, if I had to choose between Mooney and DJ Moore, I'm going Mooney. Just for the simple fact that the Commanders' defense have not stopped anybody. Like, they had guys like Nick Westbrook-Akina go off, and Robert Woods had some nice receptions. So I would go Mooney over DJ Moore. That's just me, though. And that's coming from a Commanders fan. It says DJ Moore 20-plus points this week. I don't know if it's 20-plus points this week. I hope he gets 20 points plus this week because in my big money league, in my $100 league, I got DJ Moore going. And to be honest, I'm so nervous. I'm just praying for 12 points. So if he gets 20, I most likely win my week. So I mean, it's just one of those things. I'm praying. Nick says, praying that's the case. It's for my flex. Appreciate you, man. Anytime, man. Anytime, brother. Hey, I'm praying for you, Nick. Adam says, if he doesn't get dropped. Okay. I'm trying to. Okay. I feel you. I'm trying to read these comments in order, and sometimes it's like throwing me off. But yeah, man, tons of games this week. Starting with this terrible game tonight, man. Y'all pray for me as a Commanders fan, man. It's just tough being a Commanders fan because you just never know what your team is gonna do. For the Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh game, I think that George Pickens continues to ball out of control. Start Tom Brady with confidence. Start Godwin with confidence. Mike Evans. Start all your big Tampa Bay guys, including Fournette. For Pittsburgh Steelers, the only wide receiver that I trust in that offense right now is George Pickens. Yes, I'm picking George Pickens over Deontay Johnson. Rams and Carolina. I'm liking the Rams defense this week. I'm not starting Stafford. You start Cooper Kupp. And for Carolina, you start CMC, and maybe you start DJ Moore, and you hope and you pray. DJ Moore in the flex is a okay play this week. Seattle, you start Geno. He's hot. You start Metcalf. You start Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker, oh, my goodness, gets a chance to be the lead back. I'm excited to see what Kenneth Walker is able to do versus the Arizona Cardinals defense. Now, Hollywood Brown continues to be hot. Let's see if he keeps that going. Kyler Murray, you start him. Eno Benjamin gets a chance to start and gets a chance to be the lead back. So you want to go ahead and rock with Eno Benjamin. Speaking of Eno Benjamin, it's a big bar. Big Bar says, James Conner is making is making me pull my hair out. So as we talk about James Conner, we're talking about Eno Benjamin. So James Conner most likely doesn't play this week. Darrell Williams doesn't play this week. So it's going to be the Eno Benjamin show. Start Eno Benjamin with confidence. Says now I got to start Isaiah McKenzie or Tyler Boyd in my flex. Oh, man, that's tough, man. Oh, man, that's tough. I missed this question. Adam says, what do you think will be the highest scoring game this week? And Adam says that he's going with the Ravens versus the Giants. Ooh, that's a spicy take. I think the highest scoring game, I think you're trolling, right? You got to be trolling because the Buffalo Bills do play the Kansas City Chiefs, unless you didn't see that on the schedule. Give me Chiefs, give me Buffalo. I think that's going to be a game that both teams score at least 35 points each. I don't see a lot of points going down between the Ravens and the Giants, to be honest. It says, who would you start at running back? Okay, let me see the rest of your team, Uptown Dre. Chiefs and Bills is easy. I think Adam is trolling right now. Adam, you got to be trolling, bro. You got to be trolling. Yeah. Chiefs, Bills easily. I think that's going to be a scoring fest. I can't wait for that game, to be honest. I think Mahomes and Allen both go crazy. I think somehow the Chiefs win this game. I don't know why. There's something special about the Chiefs this year. I do think the Buffalo Bills get to Super Bowl, but there's something special about the Chiefs this year. They spread the ball around, and they got to guard my guy, Travis Kelce, who had 4 touchdowns and won me a lot of games last week. But for the Bills, I have Josh Allen in all of my leagues. I have Patrick Mahomes in the rest of my league. So this game, I'm going to be watching this game. I have a lot of Allen to Diggs stack, so I'm hoping that that connection continues to happen. Gabe Davis, I have him going as well. Running back, I think Devin Singletary has at least 7 receptions this game. I have a good feeling about Devin Singletary. Running back for the Chiefs, I don't know what to tell you. I think it's going to be a McKinnon-type game. That offense is just kind of weird all around. It's just Mahomes and Kelce that I trust for the Chiefs. Dallas and Philly. It's going to be a big game. I think Philly wins this game. It's possibly going to be a close game. But if Dak Prescott plays, it changes everything. If Dak Prescott plays, even though I hate both teams with a passion, I think that Dallas can win this game if Dak Prescott plays. And if Dak plays, watch out for CeeDee Lamb. Watch out for Michael Gallup. Also, watch out for Noah Brown. And then if Dalton Schultz is actually healthy, I like his chances with Dak Prescott returning. Now, Philly. They're special, but at the same time, you're playing a tough defense, and Michael Parsons is out looking for blood. Last game, then I'm going to get to these last questions, and then we're out. Denver Chargers. Russell Wilson has been so bad. You want to go ahead and just start the Chargers defense. I do like Eckler a lot this week. I do like Mike Williams this week. We don't know if Keenan Allen is going to be healthy enough to play or not. Either way, I think Justin Herbert has just enough weapons. I think it's going to be a close game, but Chargers win. Denver fans are going to be after Russell Wilson the minute they lose and go down 2-4. And it's crazy that Russell Wilson is playing so bad so far this season. But yeah, let me go ahead and dive into these comments before I have to go. Mark says, what do you think? Are we good? What do you think are the good quarterbacks for Jimmy G and Duvernay? Okay, for Jimmy G and Duvernay, you're gonna get like top 15 guys. Like Jimmy G and Duvernay gets you Geno Smith right now. To be honest, Geno Smith has been amazing. You send these two, you might be able to get a Geno Smith, and it also depends on what kind of format you're playing. If you're playing a 1 quarterback league, there's tons of quarterbacks in the waiver wire. So I don't know if anybody's really excited to grab a Jimmy G. Now, if it's a 14-man league where it's tougher to get quarterbacks, yeah, Jimmy G and Duvernay could possibly get you something. But I would focus on guys that are not big names. Like if you can get even buying low on some of the quarterbacks that are struggling right now. Jimmy G and Duvernay might get you Russell Wilson. Jimmy G and Duvernay might get you Stafford. But those are guys that you don't trust. So I would say go for a guy like Geno Smith who's producing but doesn't really have the name value. Also, Jimmy G and Duvernay might be able to get you Jared Goff. And don't sleep on a guy like Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz puts up numbers. Go look at it. He's a top 12 quarterback so far this year. Goff, and guys like Wentz and guys like Geno Smith are the guys that Jimmy G and Duvernay could possibly get you right now. Breece Hall, Singletary, or J.K. Dobbins. If I have to choose between these 3, I would start Breece Hall for sure. And then I would start Singletary. I feel better about Singletary this week than I do about J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is like you don't know what you're going to get out of him. Moo1NZ, welcome to the stream, brother. If you are not following, please subscribe. Please like. So Thielen, Isaiah McKenzie, or ETN this week. Man, that's tough. I'm not taking McKenzie, so it's between ETN and Thielen. I would go ETN. I think ETN is trending up. Thielen still has to battle with the other weapon on the other side in Justin Jefferson. So give me ETN, especially in a potential shootout or in a game that's going to be high scoring between the Jags and the Colts. So give me ETN. Hub Bolt 12 writes, DJ Moore or Curtis Samuel? Give me Curtis Samuel this week over DJ Moore. Timeout Sports says Dak already ruled out. Oh, man. Jeez, if Dak is ruled out, man, the Eagles are going to destroy the Cowboys, and it's not even going to be close. So, yeah, that's crazy, man. That's my time, guys. I enjoyed this quick stream session. Who knows? If my Commanders get a win tonight, I might get on here, talk Commanders football, and answer some more fantasy questions. So, guys, if you guys are not subscribed, please subscribe. Please like it up. Please share it out. And I will catch you guys on that next stream. I'm out. Peace.